Hi everyone, welcome to Exploring ETFs. I'm Neena Mishra, and today we are talking about a mutual fund which was able to beat the mighty QQQ ETF. So, Bloomberg reported recently that only one mutual fund, which is the Barron Partners Fund, has outperformed the QQQ ETF in the past 5, 10, and 15 years. And QQQ basically represent investing in growth and innovation. It is the top performing ETF in the 5, 10, 15 years. And as I mentioned earlier, only one mutual fund has been able to beat it. In fact, barely in 15 years, but significantly in 5 and 10 years. This Barron Partners Fund is managed by Ron Barron, who is a big Tesla supporter. He is one of the biggest investors in Tesla and held Tesla for a long time. He's a big Tesla and Elon Musk bull. Tesla IPO'd in 2010. It was included in the Nasdaq 100 index in 2013 and in the S&P 500 index in 2020. Now, Tesla is up more than 140% this year. Yesterday, it surged over 10% when the price target was raised. And since its IPO, Tesla is up more than 24,000%. In the past 10 years, it is up more than 2,000%. And in the past 5 years, it is up more than 1,400%. Its big surge came in 2020 when it jumped over 700%. But it is a volatile stock. You should remember that. Ron Barron started purchasing Tesla in 2014. He told CNBC that most of his purchases were between 2014 and 2016. He believes that Tesla stock could hit $500 by 2025 and $1,500 by 2030. Now, looking at this particular fund, this launched in 1992. It was run as a hedge fund earlier, and it converted to a mutual fund in 2003. And since then, it has been one of the best performing mutual funds. It has about $6.8 billion in assets currently, and it is not cheap. It charges 1.4% expense ratio. Tesla accounts for 41% of the portfolio. So this is the Barron Partners Fund. And if you look at the performance over the past 10 years, it has had a very impressive annualized return of over 21%, even more impressive in the past 5 years and 3 years. But it is going to be very volatile. It had a terrible performance last year when all Tesla and all growth stocks plunged. Now, if you look at the portfolio, as I mentioned, Tesla accounts for about 41% of the portfolio. And since mutual funds can invest in private equity too, they are able to invest in Elon Musk's other companies which are not yet public or which have gone private, like Twitter or X, and SpaceX. SpaceX accounts for 8.5% of the portfolio. And then you have other companies, etc., a small allocation to X also. So basically about 50% exposure to Tesla and other Elon Musk's managed company. And you should look at this mutual fund if you have a lot of tolerance for risk and volatility, and also if you are a big Elon Musk fan. Now let's take a look at the QQQ, or the Qs, or triple Qs as they are called. So you can go to our webpage, read our research report articles. I've done podcasts with Invesco on this particular ETF. You can listen to those podcast, and using the link, you can go to Invesco webpage for the ETF. And this also has a very impressive annualized performance, almost 19% annualized return over the past 10 years. 5 years, about 16% annualized return. And if you look at the portfolio, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia, and Meta, these are top holdings. Tesla accounts for about 3% of the portfolio. Now, if you want to invest in the Nasdaq 100 index, it basically you are investing in 100 largest non-financial companies which are listed on the Nasdaq. QQQ is more popular and the older product. It has more than $200 billion in assets, one of the most actively traded ETFs, has an expense ratio of 20 basis points. Later, Invesco launched a cheaper version of this fund, QQQM, which has 15 billion in assets now and charges 15 basis points. So if you are a longer term investor, you should invest in QQQM, which I hold in the ETF investor portfolio that I manage as well. But if you are a trader, you should look at QQQ because of its excellent liquidity. Now on the next slide, I have the comparative year-to-date performance. So Barron's Fund and the Invesco QQQ both are up about 40%, little more than 40% year to date. The S&P 500 index is up about 18% year to date. The Dow Jones index is up about 5% year to date. Then we can take a look at the performance over the past 5 years. So Barron's Partners Fund did quite well over the past 5 years, thanks mainly to Tesla. It is up over 200%. QQQ is up over 113% over the past 5 years. And the S&P 500 index is up about 69%, and the Dow Jones index is up about 47% over the past 5 years. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out zacks.com/promo for an interesting offer. Also, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube video channel so that you do not miss anything. And I'll see you next week.